The son becomes the father, the father the son. This is all I can send you, Kal-El. It's not who I am underneath that defines me, but what I do. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. You're making me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I let my father die because I trusted him. Because he was convinced that I had to wait. That the world was not ready. What do you think? With great power comes great responsibility.
Good morning, guys. It's still 5 to 11, 5 to 12, I should say. We have another podcast in about half an hour, but this came across my Facebook, and I'm like, I play a Fender affiliated instrument. I finally got me the one I wanted, which was if you can see here, I have a Jackson bass, right? Which is, as I've just found out, is a Fender, affiliated instrument. So let's find out what's going on, right? So according to Scotty Ian from Anthrax, one of the bands one of the early thrash metal punk bands that I keen on. I had everything up till, I guess, White Noise. I think that was. Let me just put this away. Otherwise, I'm going to hit something with it and put some dents in it. So, as you know, or if you don't know, the reason this podcast suddenly happened is because this thing came across my Facebook, and I thought, hey, it'd be cool to talk about it because I'm learning to play bass again after 30 odd years. And I play a Fender affiliated bass, which is a Jackson. So here's how it's going. This is how it started, right? Let's go from here, right? Let's watch this. Hold on, it's gonna means I got to go onto Facebook and onto YouTube and let you watch it, so we can watch the video. So let's go watch the video on YouTube. Right.
It sounded like Guitar Center 1988 in here. It's like a full chest.
So the opening, I'm going to try to do a harmony. So what do you got for the opening? Let me ask you a question. The melody itself, the front.
Yes.
How much liberty is there? Meaning when you're going like.
I'm just trying to remember how to play the right notes.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Noonan Bittencourt
really right,
from Extreme, Scott Ian, and of course Tom Morello. Scott Ian from Anthrax, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Well, as we like to say nowadays, Rage for the Machine.
Got it.
Right. So let's look at what Scotty Ian is saying after. So they did an ad. They participated in a kind of like a documentary promotional piece, for this Fender Game of Thrones. I should know. I've got a freaking Game of Thrones Funko Pop there, or some sort of blind figure. No, it's not Funko Pop. I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Anyway, so after you get like these three guys from this very well-known, well-renowned, well-traveled, million-selling records, right? Tens of millions selling records, and so on and so on and so on. And legends, right? 30 30 odd years between them each, you know, in music and as a band. Excuse me. So Scott says, you know, he got nothing out of Fender's Game of Thrones video, the one we just saw a bit of, right? And he goes, Nuno and Budencourt did the maths. They made about $9 million from the video. What he means by that is that they got all these hits, millions of hits, right? Which, you know, you get when they put ads on it, you get revenue, right? How many hits you get using, you know, their talent, you know. And he goes, and they made about $9 million, right? And that's pretty significant figure for, you know, for these guitars. So you go like, okay, he goes, I just did the math, right? They made about $9 million on the video we made, and they couldn't even give us a guitar. That's not good for a company like Fender, who, you know, like the people who played Jackson. I know Megadeth has left now from, like, he used to play with Jackson. That's why I actually bought, Dave Mustaine. That's why I bought a Jackson last year, because I was like, I've always wanted the bass that Dave Mustaine, you know, not the bass, but I mean the guitar brand that he plays, right? But I wanted the bass to be that brand, which was Jackson. I didn't know that Fender made Jackson, right, or affiliated a company, you know, that owned it. So otherwise, I'm like, the first thing I was thinking, like, dude, if I knew that, I wouldn't have bought it. If this is how they treat people, right? Because, you know, I'm kind of the guy like who likes to put his money where his mouth is, right? Or mouth where his money is, right? Whatever. But I mean, you know, if I believe in something, I'm gonna, like, you know, do it and financially do it, right? Or not do it financially, depending which way I stand on it. So they made $9 million and they didn't even get them guitars. So usually Scott goes, right? Anthrax got in, look back on appearing in Fender's promotional Game of Thrones themed video in 2019. So that's about 4 years ago, claiming that neither him nor other musicians involved were compensated for the effort. Wait. So those three guys, like, and everybody else who's involved, didn't get paid for it. They got asked by Fender to come in and do this thing, you know, I guess wine and dine, whatever, but like they don't receive anything in payment, reimbursement. That's what he's saying. I don't know, but that's what he's saying, right? So the next one is, in addition to Scott, the video also featured Nuno Bettencourt, as I mentioned, from Extreme, Tom Morello from Rage for the Machine, as well as Brad Paisley. I'm not sure who that person is, but I'm sure I do know somewhere. So it showed the famous axe wielders, of course, axe being a guitar, you know, wielders playing 3 custom shop models from Fender's Sigil, right? Fender's Sigil collection that have been made in the style of the popular fantasy series Noble Houses, sigils, such as they performed the series theme, you know, melody for the video, of course. All the guitars were handmade by Fender Custom Shop principal master builder Ron Thorne. The House Stark Telecaster cost $25K. That's US, guys, for those, you know, down here in the Southern Hemisphere like myself. So, you know, when I was thinking about, like, how much would it cost to actually wholesale make this, right? I would say, like, max up end would be probably about maybe $5K, right? The really top, you know, because you're talking about cartage, you talk about design, or the hours, you talk about the actual timber, the metal, the pickups, the strings, everything, the electronics, all that, right? As you can see here, Scott is playing this one. Let me just get a good picture. Can get something of the front face, right? You can see there. I think there was a better one just before. Oh no, this one's better, right? So you can see it there. All the 3 different houses, right? Scott's got the dragon, right? So yeah, so it costs 25, right? So the house, that's the Telecaster, right? So that's the low end, all right? So the House Lannister Jaguar was priced at $30,000. The Targaryen house was Stratocaster could be ordered for $35K. I would say all of those are worth like around about 5K if retail, not retail, sorry, my bad, wholesale, right? But of course, then it's got the Fender name on it. Then if you put in your shop, it's right, 10, 15K more. Now, during a recent fan Q&A session, Scott Ian was asked whether they were allowed to play the instruments afterwards. He said, right, this is transcribed by Killer Guitar Rigs, right? And this is coming from ultimateguitar.com, by the way, guys. Apologies for not telling you where this article's from, right? Ultimateguitar.com. So let me see. Right, so it goes, no. This is Scott Ian saying, no. We all thought that was going to be the thing at the end of the session, that we would each get to have the one we played, but no, because usually that's what happens. And no, it didn't happen. So here's the thing. I don't know how it works. And this sort of thing is like, like you kind of like the free lunch thing. When you're like a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Because of course, Fender, who doesn't know Fender, and they've been around for decades, right? Or over half a century, if I remember right. And not to mention all the other affiliated things, right? Which we'll get to. So it goes, usually, you get that because you got your fingers all over it. You got, you've been playing it, you're sweating on it. Nobody else is gonna, nobody wants to use guitar, right? Kind of thing. But of course, if it's by these guys playing, they go, oh, now you can sign it, and you can sell it off as like the Noonan Betancourt played, or the Ian Scott played, right? So on, and yeah, Tom Morello played, but didn't happen. I guess maybe the owners of Fender went, okay, now I get to have a guitar that he played that we can own, right? Or we can have a showpiece, and that could be the case. And then even then, so they could still go, okay, why don't you guys have this one, right? A factory one, whatever, and not the one that you guys just played on, because we like to give that to our executives or whatever, or owners, our top, store guys, whatever, franchisees, anything like that, right? Because you kind of want to reward the top guys. And that's what I was thinking, like, because I was thinking about it when I was just before about pricing and what goes into creating something from the ground up. But it's not, this is a special set, right? And at the height of Game of Thrones, nobody really cares about Game of Thrones now because of season 8, right? Nobody's really, even I don't watch season 8. I just read the book, all right? And that was me. So he goes, and I'll let you in a little secret, right? So a couple of weeks later, we all get a very nice email from Fender, and I have nothing bad to say about Fender, right? I play Jackson the guitars, right? Like I said, I have my beautiful Jackson bass. It's the first instrument I bought where I haven't drawn all over it. It's just been lying down. Sorry about the dust on that, because I have it right next to me on my bed. Because on my queen size bed, so I can pick it up every time I feel like playing. It's just there. Right. So he goes, yeah, and I have nothing bad to say about Fender. I play Jackson guitars and EVH. Van Halen? Eddie Van Halen amps. It's all under the Fender umbrella, and they've treated me very fantastically over the years. So I guess he's gotten, discounts or, free gear with Jackson, right? But and we all get this very nice small email about how many millions of views this thing has gotten, right? Let me see how many millions of views it's gotten. 41 million views after 4 years. What is it, like about 5 cents per 100 per 1,000 views or something? So you can work out that they made money off the actual ad, right? Or the promotional video. Then they got these guys to play for free, and now all that money they made from selling it, and so on. Now, so he goes on to say, And we all get this nice, so he goes on. We all get this very nice email about how many millions of views this thing has gotten, and how many of these custom, very expensive, guitar. And they sold a shit ton of these custom built guitars based on this video. And that's why companies do that, right? They bring the name guy in, they bring the talent in. And like I said, between these guys, they've had like over 100 years of musicianship and records and tours, their brand, and Scott's played in different bands. Morella's played in different bands as well. And I'm not sure what else is Betancourt's been doing, Nuno's been doing, but I know the other two have been out there. And there was also the guy named Brad Paisley here, right? Who I'm not aware of, just by name. I might, by band or by face, I might know, right? So let me see. Let's get back a bit. Yeah. So they sold a shit ton of these custom built guitars based on this video that they're like, thank you so much for doing this for us and all that. So you got all these millions and you got all the money off their promos, yet you didn't let them keep the guitar that they paid for. And like I said, wholesale value. When they're playing it, there is no retail value on that because it's not selling from the shop. They're playing it straight out of the factory, out of the box that Fender owns. Fender's got the cost, low end wholesale, right? Value, factory value, right? Not the 35 they're saying or the 20 they're saying. It's the 5K that I'm, that's how it works, And so looking back at Nuno's reaction to this this turn of events, Scott went on, so I get a text from Nuno, not 5 minutes after this email, and these emails, they obviously emailed everybody involved at the same time. And he's like, these mother effers, mofos, right? He goes, I just did the mess, right? They made $9 million on the effing video. They couldn't even give us a guitar. And I'm like, hey, brother, you're preaching to the choir. I'm with you again, right? He goes, I love Fender, but damn it, I want one of those, right? And he's talking about this. He wants one of these, right? One of these videos. I mean, not videos. One of these guitars, right? And it's like, dude, why couldn't you, couldn't you have just done it? Why couldn't you have just given these guys that? And like, and they would have said so many good things about it anyway. And now you got all this negative press, right, about this. And was that really worth it? Was it really worth it now to know that anybody who's going to think about Fender is going to think about how Nuno, Brad, Tom, and Scott Ian from Anthrax, right, didn't get a guitar that they played on in this ad and the time they spent on it, they didn't get paid for that either. All right. So no free lunch, no free guitar from Fender. And like I said, guys, if I had just if I was about to go buy my bass, right, my Jackson bass affiliate, part of the Fender, family, I wouldn't have bought it. I'm that kind of guy. I'll be like, dude, Scott Ian, Tom, you just use these guys to make all these millions and you didn't even give them the guitar. All right. And I would have like, well, no, oops, bit of a bang there. And I would have been, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'll go buy a Washburn or something else that's out there that maybe a Gibson. But that's me, guys. I mean, that's how I behave about things like this. It's like, if you really think about what you want to stand for, you stand for what you think. It's up to you. I'm not telling you not to buy it. It's up to you, man. Like, I mean, that's you. I'm still going to love my Jackson. I bought my Jackson because I'm a Megadeth fan, right? So, and I always wanted to have a Jackson bass. And I finally was able to work hard last year and on a convention, on a festival actually, and use the money I got paid for that to pay for the bass I finally wanted after over 30 years. It was my first love instrument. It was the first instrument I played, even though I played guitar as well. but it was what I wanted. And so, yeah, that's why I thought I would do the video, because I play a Jackson. Otherwise, I also would have done it because that I love metal, and I love, I have, enjoyed Anthrax over the years. And like, of course, I am the law. See you guys. Kakiteano. Thank you for hanging out and watching. All the best, wherever you are. We'll see you in about half an hour, because I've got 15 odd minutes really, because I've got a toys collecting and unboxing coming up, and we're going to talk about the Crow. So see you soon.